6. How to talk about science and scientists. Teaser preview. What scientist is interested in the development of the human race, is a student of the heavens, explores the physical qualities of the earth, studies all living matter, is a student of plant life, is a student of animal life, is professionally involved in insects, is a student of language, is a student of the psychological effects of words, studies the culture, structure, and customs of different societies. Session 11. A true scientist lives up to the etymological meaning of his title, one who knows. Anything scientific is based on facts, observable facts that can be recorded, tested, checked, and verified. Science, then, deals with human knowledge as far as it has gone. It has gone very far indeed since the last century or two, when we stopped basing our thinking on guesses, wishes, theories that had no foundation in reality, and concepts of how the world ought to be, and instead began to explore the world as it was, and not only the world, but the whole universe. From Galileo, who looked through the first telescope atop a tower in Pisa, Italy, through Pasteur, who watched microbes through a microscope, to Einstein, who deciphered riddles of the universe by means of mathematics, we have at last begun to fill in a few areas of ignorance. Who are some of the more important explorers of knowledge, and by what terms are they known? Ideas. 1. Whither mankind? The field is all mankind. How we developed in mind and body from primitive cultures and early forms. An anthropologist. 2. What's above? The field is the heavens and all that's in them, planets, galaxies, stars, and other universes. An astronomer. 3. And what's below? The field is the comparatively little and insignificant whirling ball on which we live, the Earth. How did our planet come into being? What is it made of? How were its mountains, oceans, rivers, plains, and valleys formed? And what's down deep if you start digging? A geologist. 4. What is life? The field is all living organisms, from the simplest one-celled amoeba to the amazingly complex and mystifying structure we call a human being. Plant or animal, flesh or vegetable, denizen of water, earth or air. If it lives and grows, this scientist wants to know more about it. A biologist. 5. Flora. Biology classifies life into two great divisions, plant and animal. This scientist's province is the former category: flowers, trees, shrubs, mosses, marine vegetation, blossoms, fruits, seeds, grasses, and all the rest that make up the plant kingdom. A botanist. 6. And fauna. Animals of every description, kind, and condition, from birds to bees, fish to fowl, reptiles to humans, are the special area of exploration of this scientist. A zoologist. 7. And all the little bugs. There are over 650,000 different species of insects and millions of individuals of every species, and this scientist is interested in every one of them. An entomologist. 8. Tower of Babel. This linguistic scientist explores the subtle, intangible, elusive uses of that unique tool that distinguishes human beings from all other forms of life, to wit, language. This person is, in short, a student of linguistics, ancient and modern, primitive and cultured, Chinese, Hebrew, Icelandic, Slavic, Teutonic, and every other kind spoken now or in the past by human beings, not excluding that delightful hodgepodge known as Pidgin English, in which a piano is described as big box, you hit him in teeth, he cry, and in which Hamlet's famous quandary, to be or not to be, that is the question, is translated into can do, no can do, how fashion. A philologist. 9. What do you really mean? This linguistic scientist explored the subtle, intangible, elusive relationship between language and thinking, between meaning and words, and is interested in determining the psychological causes and effects of what people say and write. A semanticist. 10. Who are your friends and neighbors? This scientist is a student of the ways in which people live together, their family and community structures and customs, their housing, their social relationships, their forms of government, and their layers of caste and class. A sociologist. Using the words. Can you pronounce the words? 1. Anthropologist. 2. Astronomer. 3. Geologist. 4. Biologist. 5. Botanist. 6. Zoologist. 7th entomologist. 8. Philologist. 9th semanticist. 10th sociologist. Can you work with the words? Scientist, professional field. A community and family life. B. Meanings and psychological effects of words. C. Development of the human race. D. Celestial phenomena. E. Language. F. Insect forms. G. The earth. H. All forms of living matter. 1. Animal life. J. Plant life. Can you recall the words? 1. Insects. 2. Language. 3. Social conditions. 4. History of development of mankind. 5. Meanings of words. 6. Plants. 7. The earth. 8. The heavenly bodies. 9. All living things. 10. Animals. End of Session 11.